Hi, it's Twi. Sorry for big delay, TM. I accidentally went live on the birthday collab waiting room for tomorrow because I'm very smart. So so I had to go in and fix that. But we should be all good now, I think. Fingers crossed anyway. Hope you guys are doing wonderful today for Friday. We're just going to be doing some worldwides. It is, of course, open to anybody who would like to hop in. I got the friend code in the pinned message. More than welcome to add me up and join my games. But we'll also just be playing with some random people, just be chilling, just be chatting. It'll be a nice little fun stream before very big social event tomorrow. Which I'm so excited for, by the way. Can I just say, VTuber stuff aside, when even is the last time that I had a birthday party? Proper. I've had times where I'll make plans with a friend, but in terms of inviting a bunch of people to do stuff communally for my birthday, I think it's been 3 years, and then there was a couple years gap before that as well. I do not that normally end up congregating a bunch of friends for birthday. Mostly because, to be honest, I just feel like I didn't make that many friends in terms of IRL stuff beforehand. I was tight with the people that I was friends with, but I didn't tend to have I don't know, I was chill with everyone, but I wouldn't say I had so many acquaintances or just kind of friends that I've only talked to a couple times that I would bother inviting to stuff. Which, to be fair, I do feel for the birthday thing, there are some people that I've hung out with less than others, but also I think that I've come to appreciate that kind of stuff a lot more since the common denominator is VTubing instead of, I don't know, school or something. Just having that in common already, plus similar friend groups, usually it's always a fun time anyway. But I'm really excited, honestly. There's some people I haven't had the opportunity to hang out with in quite a while that are coming for birthday, and I'm really excited about that. We're gonna do a lot of fun stuff. I put the schedule for the event in the description, but basically there's gonna be some Splatoon. We're gonna do some Peak. I found out that you can mod Peak to include more than 4 people, which apparently tends to be a little bit buggy, so we're gonna see how it plays out. But I think that'd be funny anyway. I'm pretty bad at Peak. I just hope that I don't spend too much of that segment of the birthday collab dead, because that would be kind of sad. But I mean, I think it'll be very funny either way. We're gonna have golf with your friends, which I have been playing a bit religiously lately, to be honest. I spent my day off yesterday playing with Nahi on and off for I don't know, 9 hours or something ridiculous. Which was very fun. We came up with an idea that I probably will not subject my birthday friends to, but what we did is we set it so that every hole had a maximum time of 30 seconds or sometimes 40. And if you didn't score it in that time, then you would max out. And not only that, but we set it so that the max out penalty was 100 strokes. So it was this really intense version of speed golf where you have to complete the level in 30 seconds or else you get plus 100 to your score. Oh my. Oh! Plot armor? No. I wasted a red shell too. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Boop. I gotta get used to playing the newer Mario Kart again, because I've been playing mostly Mario Kart Wii lately, ever since I got the servers back up on that. But yeah, golf's gonna be really fun. I've been having a lot of fun getting back into golf with your friends, as goofy as that is. And then we're gonna have Gardic Phone at the end, which, if I can be so for real, I have always wanted to do a Gardic Phone collab, even though I'm bad at drawing. I think doing stuff like that, or like Scriblio, or like Jackbox, stuff like that, is really fun. I just oftentimes, I feel like I didn't know enough other creators to organize something like that. I still don't know that it's going to be that big of a segment at the end, but I am really looking forward to it regardless, because I think that drawing games are really fun, even if you're kind of bad at drawing. Although it would be very fun if one day I did put a little bit more effort into getting better at drawing, and that way I could, I don't know, I feel like that's such a fun party trick to be able to bust out. It's just like roll up to the drawing games and drop some insane stuff. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I also saved my last slice of birthday cake for my birthday party tomorrow. I'm probably not going to eat it like during the stream, but I'm glad that it lasted that long. I mean, lasted that long despite my dad also eating a lot of the cake. Because you know what? I wasn't expecting him to go for my cake much. I thought it would mostly be me eating like the entire thing. But he actually probably ate close to half of the cake, I want to say. But you know what? I think the fact that I messed up my cake is actually probably why he ended up enjoying it. Because I feel like my dad doesn't really like frosting. At least not in like a traditional sense. You know, he'll deal with a little bit, but he doesn't like how sweet like icing tends to be. And so the fact that I completely botched my icing and it ended up being probably more jam adjacent, just like a bunch of blueberry frozen over the top, I think that's what he liked. And honestly, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would too. Like, you know, one of the other things I was thinking about is how the cake looks kind of ugly because I didn't strain out any of the seeds from the blueberries when I blended it, or I'll pureed it. I just like kind of threw it all in. I was like, boom, all right, do your thing. But that was good. It makes it more nutritious. There's like a little crunchy to the seeds. It's not conventional for a cake by any means, but I did enjoy it myself. So, oh man, with 2 greens I still got hit. That's rude. Snipe. Ooh, bullet is really good. Let's see. How long should I hold this? How greedy can I be? Oh man, I got too greedy. I could not be that greedy, I see. Alright. I really wanted to though. I wanted to try and use it to see if I could cut the dirt with the bullet here. Like I wanted to test it for science. But yeah, I also, I think it's funny. I really wanted to make my cake look pretty, partially because I just artistically wanted to make something like fancy in terms of baking. I feel like I never tend to do that well at baking fancy desserts. At least they tend to taste fine, but they tend to come out looking ugly. And I wanted to break that trend, which I did not. But, you know, to my surprise, I think it was actually one of my most liked posts on Twitter ever, was that cake. Now, admittedly, I noticed a ton of art bots liked the post. I don't know why. I don't know why the artist bots would be going ham on my birthday cake post. One of my friends was like, maybe it's because it has the word birthday in it and they're hoping that you'll like want to treat yourself. And I thought that was an interesting theory. I think perhaps it could be. I really don't know why, but it was, I mean, I'm glad that people thought that the cake looked good anyway. It tastes good, so it works for me. You know, I used to always get ice cream cakes for my birthday, but they cost like so much money. I still love them. I still think Dairy Queen ice cream cake is the pinnacle of the cake experience, but it's also expensive. So after a point, I was like, I'll just start making my own birthday cake. Excuse me. But maybe one day I'll get an ice cream cake again, because I do think they're really good. For now, I don't make my own cakes as ice cream cakes. I would imagine you need some pretty fancy equipment for that. But I do just throw them in the freezer and let them stay in there. So I guess that's like something. I don't know if that's like the right way to do it, but I mean, I'm enjoying it. The only point of cake is to be tasty, so if it works, right? I also have since gotten a new boom arm because, as some of you may remember, my boom arm literally just snapped and died midstream on my actual birthday. So I went ahead and got a new one. We are no longer rocking the tissue box struggle mic setup. But I do still have that tissue box in the case of an emergency, right? If we had a second breakage, I could always bust it out. Ah, that was such a Mario Kart Wii coded shortcut that I just tried to do. I always like think that I can do bigger cuts than I can in this game. Come on, give me a shock dodge. Oh, come on. I have so many dodging items, surely. Oh, yes, sir. No, I'm so bad. I fumbled everything. Go! Go for 7th, please. Yeah. Okay, 7. But yeah, all the birthday stuff has been really fun so far. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I think it's gonna be banger. I honestly forgot, like, just how many friends I have. It's so exciting. It's so, I feel so grateful. Speaking of friend stuff, I'm also really looking forward to the fact that we got Off-Kai at home. We literally got Off-Kai at home. We've got Oshi Uplink. I don't know how many of you guys have heard about this convention. It's not that soon, but it was just something I was dealing with today. I can't believe it. We have a VTuber convention here now, so I'm hoping to see some friends there later this year too, which will be very epic. Today your birthday? My birthday was on Tuesday, but I will be doing my like formal birthday party celebration thing tomorrow. Also, hello Kamariana. Thank you very much anyway for the birthday wish. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been really fun sort of indulging birthday stuff again lately. I feel like it's been a while since I had so much to look forward to for my own birthday. Especially because up until this year, at least for VTubing stuff, which I feel like socially has taken a lot of my like capital in my brain, and also the capital in my wallet, I suppose, that too. My birthday and my actual like streaming debut are only, oh wow, that punish is crazy, are only 3 days apart. And in the past 2 years, I would always just like mostly celebrate the anniversary, which is already past now technically. My anniversary, 2 years now, it's crazy to think about, was on March 7th. But we're gonna end up celebrating the date of my first official song as my anniversary in like late April. I think it's the 19th instead. So I got to do some separate planning stuff. Maybe I can do more friend stuff for anniversary. Who doesn't like more celebration? Oh, Oh, shock dodge again. And I'm hitting every wall because I don't know where I'm going. No! Okay, big bullet. I saw the red shell icon. I just got scared and spammed it. And a star. Yo, first must be way ahead. I'll take third, though. Clean. Ah, I'm so sniffly today. Sorry. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. I'm glad to have, like, pretty much all of the planning stuff done now, I think. I had to do that and also some administrative stuff earlier today. I had to do a bunch of phone calling. Ah, I hate phone calls. Especially doing anything phone calls for, like, medical related stuff can be such, like, a wild, what is it, wild goose chase sometimes. Like, I talked to my doctor very recently and they were like, oh, you should call this number and check up on the status of your referral. And I was like, okay, sure. And so they gave me a number and an extension. So I put the number, then the extension, then you press the right button within that extension. And then nobody picked it up. So they're like, leave a voicemail. And so I left the voicemail asking for them to give me the information. And then they called me back and I missed it. So they left me a voicemail. And instead of the voicemail being like, hey, here's the status, blah, 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 which is like what I was hoping for, they were like, hey, sorry, we missed your call. Give us a call back here at this extension. And I was like, it's the same extension I just called, like, 20 minutes prior that nobody answered, by the way. So I'm like, okay, so I call it again. And they were like, oh, this is actually not the right, like, subsidiary, or, like, not the right branch for this. Would you like me to transfer you to those people? I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, thank you. And they transfer me over, and of course that person also doesn't answer the phone, so I gotta leave another voicemail. And now I guess from this point, I'm just hoping that whenever the next voicemail comes, because I tend to miss all of my phone calls, it just is how it be. I'm just hoping whatever the next voicemail is, surely that one will just be the information that I wanted to find out. And then I had to call for another thing. And I called in, and not only was it like an answering machine, right? But they didn't even want me to leave a voicemail. They were just like, please leave us a text at this number. And you know what? As long as they don't ghost me, I think that's actually really hype that they just want to text instead. Because I love when I can organize things through text. I don't feel nearly as pressured. I get to, like, think about what I want to say much more. Man, maybe I'm more introverted than I realize. But yeah, oh my, boop. I'm getting boomed. One mushroom. I'm getting bullied in this race. Your Honor, it's my 3 days belated birthday. Please stop. Yeah, I had to do a whole bunch of calling. I had to DM a couple people, but we got everything done. I got my social quotas met, I suppose. So, all's well that ends well. I was really laughing earlier because in the midst of everything, I think around the time that I was having my breakfast, one of my friends in the group chat added me. They're like, Adiki, this is important. I need your help. I was like, okay, what's up? And I thought that was unusual because I was like, I don't know what kind of expertise I could be providing you in this moment, but sure, me specifically, let's go. Let's see what's happening. And she sent me just a picture of like a stovetop pan full of chicken. And she's like, is this cooked? Can I eat this? I've been cooking it for 20 minutes. And I was like, like, probably? Like, I don't know why you're asking me, but the 20 minutes, like, surely 20 minutes on the stovetop. It's like chopped up, you know what I mean? It's like small. And then after I said that, I realized, I was like, actually, wait, you should just, like, cut a piece open and look. And that will tell you, like, easily, because I know that she doesn't have a food thermometer. I asked anyway, but I knew she wouldn't. But I was like, you could just cut it open and look. And she was like, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as you said it was safe, I already ate everything. If I don't respond in 20 minutes, I died. I'm like, no, don't die, please. I was like, I don't even know why me specifically. Nagi was like, you've become the CEO of food safety in her brain. And she was like, yup. So maybe I need to go back and review the time that I got my food certificate. Brush up my cooking safety knowledge, just in case I get surprise quizzed again on food. I'm like so not the person to ask, even though I did that, right? I did like get a certificate to be able to work food jobs. I never actually worked one. It's just, you know, the job market was so bad, right? I knew it was cooked when I was willing to even like open my mind to fast food at that moment. Of course, I mean, the funnier part is that they weren't even hiring. Like, nobody was hiring at that time, but I still can't believe that she was asking me for cooking advice. I was like, bro, I barely even cook. This morning I actually did cook, but like nothing difficult. I was being fat for breakfast. We had bacon and it wasn't getting eaten, so I was like, damn, I guess I gotta make bacon. And then I made a grilled cheese, because I mean, you got the bacon fat anyway, you might as well, right? But like, low-key, I do not cook normally. Like, I felt so caught off guard when I was asked about that. Are you winning? Ah, not bad. Not bad. I've gotten like third. That's pretty close. Surely I will win soon. With the Ada Lira Oshi buff. How's it going, Ada? What's up? Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if I have the aura of somebody that can cook. I feel like surely I don't. I feel like surely that was just targeted because it would be like funny in that moment. But like, I don't know. I feel like cooking and baking are such different skills, and I'm already not even good at baking stuff that's actually hard to bake. Oh! Man, okay, I only lost one spot. I still gained for 6? Okay, I'll take that. I didn't realize I'm almost at 11,000. That's cool. No, I don't. I mean, yeah, there's no reason I would have the aura of somebody who's good at cooking, because I'm not. I'm very, very okay. Even for like baking stuff, I feel like whenever I've tried to make stuff that's fancier, it always tastes fine, which feels like a pretty low bar. Since, like, I don't know, how could you make the ingredients that go into, like, most baked desserts not taste good still? That's the best part about baking, is even if it comes out ugly, like, it's still, you're still gonna eat it. Like, I remember, sometimes it's advantageous. I remember when it was Christmas time, I did a whole bunch of baking for, like, I had 2 family gatherings. They were happening pretty close, like, back to back. So I baked an absolutely ginormous batch of ginger cookies, like probably like 3x my normal. No, not like 3x, probably like double my normal already very large like batch size. And I also really wanted to try making macarons for the first time, but I only made like, I think it was like 6 or something. I made like 1 tray because I'd never done it before. So I just wanted to try it out, see how they came out. And the plus side was that they were really tasty. You know, I feel like macarons don't really taste like much to begin with, and I did a like mint ganache filling, which I've done before anyway for like brownies, and so it worked out like perfectly fine for like flavor. But the problem is like the shells were not the same size; they were like flat, falling apart. Oh, how dare you, Genevieve? Oh my, everybody's out to combo you in this game, bro. Holy. Yeah, they came out just like, it looked like somebody stepped on my macarons fresh out the oven. But it kind of played in my favor because basically nobody went out of their way to eat them, so I just got to eat all of them myself. And they still tasted good. It was like a chocolate cookie, so it was nice. Ah! And then I also ended up with way more ginger cookies than I thought as well, because my cousin's girlfriend also made ginger cookies with like almost the exact same recipe as me. Hers were thinner and topped with granulated sugar instead of powdered sugar, and otherwise I think the recipe was almost exactly the same. Like even the ratios I'm pretty sure would have been quite similar, which was very funny. So, you know, we showed up second to that party. Most of mine did not get eaten. I ended up pawning most of it off to my best friend and his family. Which kind of, again, worked out nicely, because I remember they asked me for my recipe like a month before that, and I don't think they ever got around to making it. So I just rolled up and I was like, hey, I got like a dozen cookies for you if you want them. This is why I need more local VTuber friends. So that way, if I feel like baking, I can pawn off my loot to people. This is the objective for Oshi Uplink. I find more people that I can throw my baked goods at, so I don't have to feel like such a fatty by making 24 cookies and knowing that I'm gonna eat like probably like 16 of them, and only 16 because my dad would eat the other 8. I'll take cookies. Heard. I will bring you cookies. Should I wait until Oshi Uplink, or are we making plans before that? Honestly, I actually made cookies recently I made chocolate chip cookies for the first time in like 2 years. I don't know why. I was like so into the molasses cookie recipe with the ginger stuff for a while that I just hadn't made it in ages. But it was really nice. I forgot how good a good chocolate chip cookie is. Man, I've been eating so much dessert recently though. Dude, my diet's so cooked. My lifestyle's so cooked. I haven't worked out regularly since like November. I've been snacking way harder since December. Yo, it's fine. I'm still relatively okay. I walk. That's something. I touch grass sometimes. Good enough. But yeah, that'll be fun. It's so cool. I feel like I have so much stuff to look forward to. Especially tomorrow. But even after that, I don't know. I feel like I've entered a much more communal phase of like my VTubing social life. It feels so fun to have like an actual friend group that I hang out with more regularly. Because I've had like a lot of friends over my first 2 years. But I feel like a lot of the time it's like I would get into an interest, it would be really tight for like a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. And then it would wane for me, and I just get, like sort of relegate to the like, oh, I really like catching up with this person like once a year type status. You know what I mean? Being in a group chat again is so fun. Ah! Dude, I'm getting boomed. YOLO is true. Look, you only get one life to eat as many cookies as possible. You have to get the numbers up before it's too late. See, it was my birthday. I'm getting old. I have to keep filling myself with dessert before it starts actually making me fat. Oh my, I'm terrible. It's fine. I feel like my life philosophy has been so YOLO'd over like the past few years anyway. I remember I was looking at Refined Self stuff again because I saw that Nahi played it, and that she got classified as the philosopher from her first playthrough because she didn't put it on streamer mode, but she was streaming, so it just took a while, and it just counted that as like somebody who thinks a lot, which I think is really funny. But I think what I actually like came out of that thinking of is I was surprised that I didn't get the philosopher in my types, because I feel like I do tend to be a little philosophical. Wow, I really sniped myself and got last. I'm the best. I do tend to be like a thinker. I like to think a lot. I was surprised why I didn't get it. And then I think about it now, and it's like, I think I do a lot of speculative thinking, but in practice, I kind of just YOLO everything anyway. I just put everything down to the last minute. I'll think exactly how I feel about something, or like stuff that I should do. I'm such like a planner in the theorizing phase. And so I get my brain super organized, and then I forget about it for like 2 weeks or more. And then I just sort of YOLO it, like, as soon as it re-arises for real that time. I do, like, nothing at all like what I was initially thinking of. The thinker logs on, does nothing, and then logs off. That's what the thinker does. It's actually, like, so silly, though. I feel like maybe a little bit less in, like, the current friend group. But in most of my prior friendships, I feel like I end up getting relegated to therapist friend. Even though I have, like, all sorts of my own stuff that I'm still, like, thinking through and figuring out. And I also feel like I have a relatively low amount of actual experience for the kind of stuff that most people end up wanting advice on. I just become the advice friend anyway. Which is very interesting to me, but also fun. I don't know. I like listening to people's problems and then like thinking of stuff they can do. See, I like being the thinker for other people and then hoping they actually solve their problems, and then I like being the thinker for myself, but not actually the solving part for myself. Then again, is that low-key not philosophy though? I feel like philosophy is like theorizing like concepts, but like usually it doesn't actually do anything important though. Maybe I'm more philosopher than I gave myself credit for initially. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna be redoing Refined Self on Sunday, so I guess I'll have to see if I score philosopher that time. What I'm really curious about when I do that again is if my morals score is gonna stay really high, because I've done 2 of the like 3 playthroughs to like sort of complete your profile or whatever, and I got the clergy role both times as being like a helper person, and I never knew about this before. I found it by accident, but if you click your if you click the chart that shows like how much of all of the stats that it makes your type off of, it'll show you the number values from 1 to 100. And somehow, after 2 playthroughs, my morals was at 99 out of 100, which honestly just feels like cartoonish to me. Like, that's such a not internalizable... No, that's not a word. I can't internalize the number. It's too high. I think it makes sense. I do feel like a very, like, morally driven person, but at the same time, 99, I think, feels impossible for anyone to like, truthfully internalize, you know? That's just too high. Because I think a lot of the time I have very strong morals for myself, and to an extent, I think I have very strong morals towards other people as well, but I don't have the means to, like, act on it very much. Like, I'm not... I try to do like a little bit of charity where I can, but I can't do much, and it's because I don't have much to give realistically. But you know, I guess it's more about the little things, and like the thought is probably, especially in a game, well, in a game, right? In a game, it costs me nothing to be charitable and be nice and explore those kind of options. Because everything is just fictional anyway. It's just like I'm gone in like an hour. So I might as well. That was like the funniest gap to me as well. I think despite having like morals 100, and I also thought it was funny because Nahi's morals was like almost 0. I think she didn't click the number, but I would guess it's somewhere around like 10 or something. I was like, Nahi got 10 morals. She's like, I can count all of them. I can list all 10 of them. But I feel like on the flip side of what the score would make you think, I tend to like troll my friends a lot more in games and stuff like that. Whereas I don't think I've seen Nahi troll anyone in a game. I especially like never bothers with doing that to anyone. I've seen her troll, but not in a game before. But when it was like random NPCs, she just picked like chaotic evil every time. Oh wait, this is not the right route. Dude, I'm so Mario Kart Wii brained now that I started playing that again. This route is better on Mario Kart Wii, but it's worse on the actual like regular online servers. I mean, clearly not much though. I'm in 5th. Unfortunately, I'm getting comboed again. This is so sad. Yeah, surely what will actually happen is I'll get morals 100 on my next playthrough, and then it'll round me up and I'll get a perfect moral aptitude score. It would never be that it goes down from 99. Surely that would never happen. What? Realistically, if it stays above 90 or like 95, I think I would be very happy with that. I think that'd be very cool, very swag. Ah! Dude, I cannot catch a break. I keep getting like just owned on this straightaway. Okay, we're doing pretty well though. I'm gonna go wide for the item. Oh, I got a bomb. Ah. That'll be fun. It was kind of fun talking the other day about personality test stuff as well. I remember you were asking me about MBTI. Oh, big shock dodge. I used to be like really into MBTI actually. It was kind of fun to think back to. Like I remember when I was a teenager, I got really into watching like videos about MBTI, and I learned the like theory behind it, which is oh, I shouldn't have spammed that. That was really bad. But I think it's like some theory by Carl Jung that basically there's like 8 thinking like systems or mechanisms sort of that people use, and then the different MBTI types are like different orderings of like how high in your like priorities or like thinking processes. So basically like the way that you contextualize your thinking is what determines it. And if you like learn that kind of stuff, then MBTI actually becomes like a pretty good personality benchmark because it explains like the thinking. But if you just do the like test website, like 16 personalities or whatever, it tends to fluctuate a lot based on like mood. Or like in my case, truthfully, so I'm an INTP and I 100% believe that, just through and through. But I think since the time that I was younger, I've developed my like emotional, like regulatory and like perceptive thinking skills a lot more than I had when I was younger, right? I think I give more attention to my own emotions. I'm more able to communicate with other people about stuff like that. And I've noticed that the way that I answer, having developed that like part of my thinking, has swung my like type to go to like INFP. I think I've even gotten ENFP before. Which is funny to me because I'm definitely not an extrovert. I love talking to people, but I'm not an extrovert though. But it's kind of fun though anyway. I think using it as a serious tool, like even if you know like the theory behind it or whatever, it's still soft science stuff. Like I think as I got older, I started to not care about it nearly as much, like properly. But I do think it is like a very fun, like little system to just look at stuff. Can you do this with one mushroom? Nope. Probably wasn't really a time loss though. Boop. But yeah, I used to be really into psychology stuff. I don't know. I feel like if I did ever go to university, it'd probably be for psych. But I have friends that went to school for psych, so I can just ask them instead. I can mooch their education for free. I don't know. From what my friend who's been studying psych to go into like doing therapy, it sounds like there's a lot of filler in that degree. Like, he said that he didn't really get into the kind of concepts that are more applicable towards, like, therapy practices and stuff like that until, like, his 4th year. Which I was just like, damn, that's a long time. I'm sure a lot of it is still useful stuff. Like, understanding, like, the neurochemistry and, like, simpler applications before you dive into, like, the more technical stuff. You know, ultimately, you want to be like very good into you want to have a really good intuition before you start dealing with other people. Oh, I finally have a race where I'm in first and there's a blue shell. Come on. Okay. Oh, I'm getting him. I'm risking it. I'm risking it all, baby. I'm gonna get passed anyway though, actually, by like a lot of people. Yeah. Come back, Sheen. Come here. Second? Second. I'll take second. That's pretty good. Dude, I was having a little bit of a rough streak there for a moment, but we got it. There we go. Win some of my points back. Yippee. Oh yeah, I also, this is like very off topic, but yesterday on my day off as well, I got a really cool opportunity through the studio that I'm taking voice lessons from. They had a new instructor starting soon, and they wanted to get some like mock lessons, so they'd have like a supervisor sit in on a like sort of just like a regular vocal lesson and kind of like backseat them a little bit. Just see how they're doing. And so I got chosen, well, I applied for and got chosen to get a free like 30-minute lesson with this new instructor. I didn't even know there was going to be like a supervisor for it either, but they were super nice. Both the supervisor and the new teacher were really nice. It was a really great experience. I was really flattered actually, because I didn't think it was going to be like very personalized, right? It's just like a mock lesson to get them some experience. And this guy who's instructing me for his like demo lesson, he was like, yeah, I looked at your channel. I looked at some of your music stuff. It's really cool. I was like, oh? And he started asking me about like how I do the art or like, you know, the music, like sound design stuff. It was really wholesome. I was not expecting it. And you know what was crazier than just that to me? Is towards the end of the lesson. So I was already very flattered that it seemed like he checked out some of my covers or maybe my original. I don't know exactly how much he looked at, right? But he looked at some of my stuff. What made me really surprised was that towards the end of the lesson, he wanted to hear me sing some like head voice stuff. And he was like, I think you like Keshi, right? And I was like, how does he know that? he either had to have watched one of my karaoke streams, or he had to have watched like my soft singing ASMR videos or something, because there's no other way he could have known that. I was like, how did he know that? So anyway, I don't know. I was so surprised when he knew that. He was like, I don't even have a cover for that. I might have got a real fan by accident just by signing up for a free voice lesson. But yeah, I was so stunned. Like, he really did look into it. It was so cool. It was very interesting. Oh my, no. Man. It was a cool lesson, honestly. I will say, I liked the way that he was like choosing exercises, but the supervisor was also really helpful. There was like a couple times where she like stopped the lesson to point out to him like either why what he did was good or like a little bit of what he might have been missing that she wanted him to pick up on. And I actually, as a student, found those to be like the best moments in the lesson. Like, I really like, so far in my experience working with like voice tutors, dude, wow, I got Mario Karted so hard there. Oh my god. At least one person got it worse than me. I'm sorry, Tanuki Mario guy, whatever happened there. Oh my. Sorry, what was I saying? I think that in my experience doing voice lessons, I really like when they start explaining to you like what muscles you're engaging, like in the throat, and sort of like give you examples, try and isolate like that part of your voice experience, and then that way you can try to understand more. Like, one of these days I really want to sit down and try and find like a lecture or just like a really like thorough video about like the anatomy of the throat in the context of singing, and just like take notes and try and like understand everything, because it's been really helpful at times to hear stuff like that. And there's also stuff that I never think about that just catches me so off guard. Like, I remember in that lesson, you know, I told them most of my musical direction is like pop and rock stuff, a bit more influenced by Japanese music, but I like some Western stuff too, of course. And so when they were hearing me sing, they were like, yeah, your voice has like a lot of compression on it, which is a really cool sound for like pop rock music. Like, I can really hear the influence. And I was like, that's dope. And then the like supervisor person for the lesson, when we were trying to do some like more like belty, like held notes, was listening to it, and she got me to do an exercise that he told me again, which is kind of like stick your tongue out. Like, I was, so the track that I was singing at that time was Stellar Stellar in the lesson. And so like the phrase was like, like that one, right? Classic. And in holding that, he wanted me to like redo that phrase with my tongue out. It's like, I guess like the whole note's the important part. It's like, and like you can hear when you get to like the held part of the note, it's like very open. Of course, it sounds stupid when you're doing like the other syllables with your tongue out, but that's like the part you're targeting. And I thought it was cool, but I didn't really get why I was doing it, right? And then the supervisor kind of started to bring it up. She got me to do it again at like the end of the lesson, and she was like, yeah, so having your tongue be like too tight or like curled in your mouth actually can cause like a lot of that compression as like a side effect, and it can make it harder to, or like it can make your use of air like more inefficient. And I never heard of that before. Of course, like, I understand that tongue like movement and placement is important for singing, but I never actually heard or like stumbled into any advice about like, what do you do with your tongue while you're singing? You know what I mean? It's just kind of something that you figure out intuitively if you don't get trained in some way, I feel like. And so that was like a really, really interesting piece of information to chew on for me. It was just like, if you just like relax your tongue more, you get it like wide at the bottom of your mouth, it can be really helpful for doing like long open vowels. And like little things like that have just been so fun for me. Like, I'm very new to doing any sort of like training or education for my voice, and it's been a really insightful experience as somebody who is, you know, completely self-taught over a lot of years, but still, you know, I have no formal music education other than I played flute in middle school, which I mean, I'm not going to say there's no transfer. I think in a lot of ways, the kind of like breath control that you use to play the flute translates very well to singing. But that's about... Oh my, I got so screwed by being small. No. You know, not much else kind of moves its way over from that experience, right? So I don't know how long I can really afford to do vocal lessons. I'm sure it's going to be like more and more infrequent. I've actually been very, very blessed that the studio I'm working with, you know, they gave me a free lesson like with my main instructor, and they also gave me like that free mock lesson that I felt like I got a couple nice takeaways out of. I've been very fortunate in my experience thus far, but I truthfully have found it to be like a super insightful experience. I don't know, it also just feels so cool. Like, I think even since before I was a VTuber, one of the like goals in my head was always like, I really want to get vocal lessons. I want to take singing lessons. And it feels so cool that I'm finally doing that, you know. I don't think it happened the way that I originally planned it to, but I think that it doesn't really matter, right? A lot of the best stuff is happy accidents anyway, so it's been a really cool experience. I've loved starting out singing lessons and exploring more stuff with my voice. It's just fun. So I'm hopeful to see what other stuff I can continue practicing, continue learning. I have one more project coming soon for music that is already recorded and I'm like doing the audio work on actively. But after whatever the next one is, I have not recorded anything past that. So outing myself a little bit for not being as like ahead on music stuff as I probably could be. But that means that you'll get to hear a newly trained, new and improved Twi the next time that I record some vocals. And that's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to see what I end up cooking for that. I do have a project for the summer that I want to do. And then, I mean, I have some other stuff that is a bit looser. I don't know specifically what it'll be, but I'm looking forward to working on some other stuff. It's nice. I feel like for my birthday, I had a lot of fun finally finishing the Mirage cover, which I hope you guys liked. Although that was like not a very serious project for me. It was honestly just like for funsies. But I'm looking forward to the fact that my next project is like, I put a lot into it. It's definitely going to be one of my higher effort projects, so look forward to that. Oh no, I pulled a coin. Oh, it's such a bad place to get sniped, man. It was going so well. I was front running, and now I'm in the mix. Huh, mix. The VTuber brain rot, not me laughing because I said the word mix. No! Not even close. Okay, let's go. Foot on the gas, pedal to the metal. No! Why am I getting... Oh, dude, the red shell didn't even make it, but I fell. Oh, man. Generational fumble happening in real time. Give me a bullet for my birthday. I'll take it. No, a bomb. Are you serious? Ooh. Man. Oh, that was smooth. Give me a bullet for my birthday. I did not... Look, I'm so Mario Kart brained that I forgot that bullets are a real thing. Look, I'm too Canadian to think about that, okay? Hi, Nahi. Oh, I just mashed into that. Okay, Mute City, sure. been lurking for a bit. Oh, yay. Well, welcome. Hello. I'm so excited for birthday stuff tomorrow. Dude, golf is gonna be so funny. I think it's gonna be the biggest golf with your friends lobby I've ever been in. Do you think should... There's a part of me that wants to make people play speed golf one round. It would be really funny, I can't lie. Maybe just on like Forest or something so that it's like not as brutal. But I do think it would be super funny to have like 10 people doing speed golf. Because the other side of the coin too is like, I feel like the lag bumps, even with like 2 or 3 people, is already chaotic. Having like 10 people, somebody's gonna get owned by a random lag bump, and that would be really funny. Low-key, I low-key hope something like that would happen to me, just so I'd have my own POV for it. I just hope that if I suck at any of the games, it will be golf and not Peak. Because I actually suck. I'm fine at golf normally, but I think it's fun even if I'm doing bad. Peak, I'm gonna feel so bad if I die and then I'm just like spectating like everybody else playing without me quietly in my birthday. I have to try so hard not to die on Peak. But I'm so bad at Peak. I'm trying to think if I've ever made it out of like the second area. I think I have. I don't think I've passed 3. I think I've passed the second one when it's not Roots. Is Roots the one I'm thinking? I think it is. The one that has like the scary zombies and like the poison fog in the jungle with the crazy wind. Dude, putting that as the second area is messed up. That is way too difficult. Like, I don't know why they made Peak so hard. Like, I'm so bad. I can't even do like the beginner mode. They made this shortcut doable, right? Oh, oh, well, that was still cool, even if it didn't save time. I don't know. I felt so cool doing that. Ah, how dare you. But yeah, should be fun. Dude, I'm still thinking about the fact that that random vocal teacher who was only giving me a mock lesson researched so far as to have watched like my karaoke stream probably. That is so interesting. That's so cool, bro. That's so sweet. I mean, he did. He really gave me like a very sweet but like kind of timid or like quiet guy kind of vibe. So it didn't surprise me so much that he did some research, but I would never expect something like that, you know what I mean? It was very flattering. It was a great suggestion too, like, because I was really trying to think, I was like, what do I have that I can sing in my head voice? And I was like blanking, and then he just like pulled me out of it. He knew me. It was interesting too, because we were doing some like voice exercises involving falsetto stuff, and the supervisor like accidentally gave me a really cool piece of like knowledge that I truthfully had no idea about, and she didn't really even like say it for me. She wanted to like point out to him why it was good to bring up. And I was just like, wait, can you explain that to me? Like, that sounds interesting. Dude, banana snipe? That's crazy. Oh my god, I'm gonna get back spammed. This guy's a menace. Mitchell. Okay, it's fine. I'll take 4th. We were doing some like head exercises, particularly, you know, the classic like sliding all the way from the bottom of your voice to the top or vice versa, like you're like that, right? But there's like that breaking point in the middle. And they wanted me to do it in like super slow motion, like like that, you know what I mean? Like, they literally said, like, sing it like, do it like a sloth. And I was like, okay. And I noticed, like, okay, I had a little bit of a break there in my voice still, but I noticed I wasn't getting nearly as much of a break. And I assumed that entirely it was just like, oh, you know, like, it's easier to control it when I'm going slower, right? I didn't really understand any of the mechanisms. But she brought up basically that I was only partially singing in my falsetto. Like, I was still mixing in my, like, top when I went quickly, apparently. But when I went really slow, I, like, isolated it more, and I was, like, fully in my head voice. And I was like, oh, like, I'm just doing the technique wrong when I go fast, straight up. Like, I guess I had bad muscle memory or something, which is really interesting. I gotta look it up more. I have a notepad full of, like, over an hour worth of, like, stuff that I gleaned from my voice lessons that I need to go and research in further detail one of these days when I've got some free time and the motivation to do so, but it's been really cool. Me when fire truck, yes, the classic. You guys like my fire truck impression? Twi Your truck. That was so stupid. Take vocal lessons just to learn how to fry scream? You know, actually, not fry, but I've been learning false chord stuff in my voice lessons too. And I kind of want to get to a point with it where I feel comfortable enough to, like, do scream stuff. So far, I've been starting with, like, a lot lighter stuff. But I've been experimenting a little bit. Like, the song that my voice teacher wanted me to start practicing with was Beggin' by Mainskin, which I was like, oh wow, I haven't thought about that song in a hell of a long time. And it's really weird. I don't know, like, I get, like, the way that he described it, which I think makes sense, is it's like a macro practicing song. So, like, you're not learning fry or, like, false chord stuff so that you can have it be, like, your primary style necessarily. You could be, but that's not what I'm doing. But you learn it, you, like, pick a song that, like, really, really leans into it, and you use that to, like, over practice that skill set, sort of, in a way that would be difficult to otherwise focus on. No! Oh, please! Okay, I'll take 5th. Dude, these lobbies are so good. I feel like the only people that still play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are, like, low-key really sweats at this game. It's so hard. I haven't gotten a single win yet. Surely soon. Yeah, straight to death metal does sound really fun, but I think a lot of the difficulty with, like, false chords stuff. No, I'm also a nerd. There's no point in calling them nerds. I'm sweatier than they are at other games. Including Mario Kart, just not this one. But I think with the fry, well, not fry stuff. I haven't been too worried about fry stuff. I do some fry stuff with my voice, but in terms of, like, the false chord stuff that I'm learning, I think going for death metal stuff is too early for me, because, I mean, basically, false chord stuff is really quiet, like that. Like that kind of, like, creaky part in your, like, high area of your voice, like in your falsetto, is what you're using. You're, like, amplifying that with air. And it's actually really safe. Like, my voice teacher was telling me, using your false chords is actually, like, the least straining thing you can do to your voice, pretty much, other than not use it, because you're not using your vocal cords really to phonate, so you're very, like, preserving your regular singing voice. However, you're kind of, like, still preserving a lot of air, or, like, there's a lot of air pressure that you're controlling, and if you accidentally, like, release it too, like, recklessly, that's when you can damage your voice by doing, like, false chord stuff. Is if you have, like, a bunch of air that you're kind of holding on to to create that like creaky false chord sound, and then you like let it all go at once. You either like boom, like into your throat, instead of sort of like controlledly amplifying that. That's when you can accidentally do some damage. And so I want to make sure that I like am comfy on the quieter stuff and like work up the way that I'm amplifying it instead of just YOLOing it too hard. I mean, sometimes I'll experiment and like go a little harder than maybe I should, but even that's still not death metal screams yet. But I will 100% do metal stuff. I really like metal. I think the screaming stuff is cool. However, like even if I never was that good at screams, I would still want to do metal just because I also really like power metal and like symphonic metal, stuff like that. I'm an Osu player, right? There's a whole lot of stuff that is screamo, but there's also a lot of stuff with no screaming. And it's just like really, really sick guitar solos and really like epic belted vocals, which is like kind of my style anyway. You know, I really like that stuff. So I'm sure we will be getting Metal Twi at some point. I feel like the gap is so good too for my character design. Like, do I lean into it or do I get art that makes it like as goth as possible or something, or like emo or something? I don't know. Both angles I could see being funny. Oh man, also I just made that other guy tank the red shell for me. That was very epic. Come on, shock dodge me. Shock dodge me. Okay, I'll take fourth. Hi, Sunfish. Welcome. Definitely been a few times where I've gotten too excited with a metal song and suffered the consequences. Oh, okay. Well, I think most people who've listened to metal have done that. I've done that before. Mostly because it's not, you know, you don't know the like right technique to not damage your voice for it, but every once in a while you gotta just don't care. Sometimes you just gotta go with it. You're just in the mood to sound like a goblin from hell. And you just gotta ride that vibe. I'll draw that for free. What? I mean, if you wanted to. I don't. What would I cover though? I have to think. I have to think what I would cover. Maybe something Yuyupe would be cool. Or I still want to do Sweet Sweet Central on Drug. There's like not a lot of screaming in that, but there's some screams. I feel like that would be maybe doable as like a good test song for myself, because there's some the screams on that are kind of hard though. I can't lie. Like they go long. Maybe, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I gotta think. I would have to think about what I would want to go for. Do I even do J metal? Do I do J? I think I probably do J metal. To be honest, I listen to like significantly more J metal than Western metal. And it's not that I don't like Western metal. It's just that I like J metal is what I found first. Shout out Osu player influence, the silliest way to get into death metal. I guess I'd have to like choose something that I can find an instrumental for comfortably as well. So I have to see. I'm kind of trying to think, does Yuyupe have like metal Vocaloid stuff that's not from Sick Yandere? I mean, I guess I could do a song from that too. Because I don't know, I actually didn't even realize that they were like that metal. Oh, wait, not Vocaloid, but I really like Anemone by Toa that's produced by Yuyupe. That was like the song where I realized that they produce like heavier metal stuff. Because I knew them before that for like, I don't know, like Palette, like, is it pronounced Ellis? Elis? I'm not sure. There's another song I'm thinking of. I know I by them. I don't think that's a popular song by them, but it was popular in Osumania back in the day when I played that. There's definitely at least one other song I'm thinking of from you that I'm just like not coming to mind. Leia, I haven't heard that song. I gotta listen to that later. Please don't have a second red shell, please. If they don't have 2 red shells, I think I got this. I think I did it. I think I got a win. I think I got a win. Let's go! Yippee! Finally! Huge. Such a classic Luca song. Ooh. I feel like I don't know that many Luca songs, to be honest. I always think of Luca Luca Night Fever. And that is like low-key the only Luca song that distinctively pops out in my brain as like a standout. I don't know, my Vocaloid knowledge is like so weird because I have found a good amount of Vocaloid songs from just like being on YouTube at the time, but also a lot of my like Vocaloid knowledge comes from rhythm gaming, and so I'm kind of just at the mercy of what people like chart into games. There's probably a good amount of like popular, especially older Vocaloid songs that I just don't know because there's not like a popular chart for them or something. Just Be Friends, you've definitely mentioned that before, and I definitely forgot to listen to it. I'm so sorry. No, I don't think I did listen to that one, although I was looking up some of them that one night when you were quizzing me on a bunch of really old Vocaloid music. It's an alright song, but it's like the Luca song. Okay, I see, I see. I mean, low-key, between you and me, guys, I do feel like a lot of old Vocaloid music is just like okay to like kinda good, but really iconic. But like, it's okay though, like it's a product of its time. I think that it's really cool to look back at, but I do not be bumping old Vocaloid music particularly. Crazy nostalgia poisoned? I mean, I'm crazy nostalgia poisoned about other stuff. I just didn't acquire the elite ball knowledge early enough to have that kind of like sentiment towards a lot of older Vocaloid stuff. Just between us, you're dead? What? No! Why? What did I do? Just between us, I think that's really messed up. And you shouldn't do that to me because it was my birthday 3 days ago and it's my birthday party tomorrow. And I'm just a little guy. Please. I don't know, there was like the one really old Vocaloid song I knew that you didn't know about from like 12 years ago or something. What was that one? It was Ringori. Ringori Utakata. What is it? Ringori Utakata no Shoujo or something like that. I don't know. Transient apple seller girl, something like that. There were fewer bops back then. It was easier to celebrate the good ones. That is actually extremely true. And that's not to say that I don't like that there's like a lot of really good music in the scene right now. It is more so to say that it feels really difficult to keep up with a lot of artists that I like. And so sometimes I'll just come back to an artist after like months or even years and just be like, there's so much music. Like I have to mentally carve out like a whole session of sitting down and listening to this person. But I mean, that's just music in general nowadays, right? Like there's so much good stuff for so like almost any genre you could think of, that every once in a while I really like to just sit down and like do nothing but listen to music. Maybe I'll play like a very head empty video game while I do it and just absorb it. Wait, I just noticed it was Sumpfish that said, wow, just between us, you're dead. I thought it was Nahi. Oh my god, I totally didn't realize that was Sumpfish. Wait, I didn't know you were like an old head about Vocaloid music, some fish. Oh my god. I'm literally nice to you. You are, but like, I don't know. I could have seen that as a hill that you would die on, maybe. I got into VTubers from Kizuna Ai's Sand Planet cover. Damn, that must be like really old. I'm trying to think. I think the only Kizuna Ai cover that I know is or wait, is that even a cover? I don't think it is a cover, right? I'm remembering the song is like Ohayo, Ohayo, good morning. Dude, that song's a banger. I haven't thought about that song in a while. I didn't really like, I wasn't on the VTuber wave like back when Kizuna Ai was like really big. I feel like I got into it like a little bit before Hololive English. Like I think initially I saw clips of like probably like Okayu and Korone. I think Suisei maybe. Who else was I watching back then? It's like so hard to remember that era. But that was kind of like my gateway into VTubers, and of course that definitely amplified how much I was listening to like different Vocaloid artists and stuff like that compared to before. Ah! I'm cooked. Sounds like Honeywork? Oh, is it a Honeyworks song? Or you're just saying the one I mentioned sounds like Honeyworks? You know, if you, without the instrumental, I could see that sounding like a Honeyworks, like, top line. I mean, maybe they did top line it, I have no idea. But, the song is a lot more like house EDM than Honeyworks stuff is. Oh my god, dude. It is so scary in this Mario Kart that you can just get hit by the blue shell going across the floor, even if you're not in first. Oh, that guy's got a piranha plant. Leave me alone. Please. Come on, give me a shock. Show me a shock. I want the shock dodge. I feel the shock dodge. Nope. Okay. I'm just gonna burn these. Only one item. Ah. No, it was lag, dude. That was so sad. Oh, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. They're gonna throw that boomerang backwards. I have such a bad feeling. Wait, this race is like so much longer than I realized still. Okay. 8, it's not great, but I'll take it. Kizuna Ai cover. Kinyobi Ohayo. Oh, that is Honeyworks? Wait, really? No, okay, I was gonna say. Wait, she has a different song name that's an original? Hold on, I need to Google now. Now I'm confused. I need the Kizuna Ai ball knowledge right now. Hold on. Kizuna Ai Hello Morning. This is an original, I'm pretty sure. And then, what is Kinyobi Morning? Or Kinyobi no Ohayo? Friday's Good Morning. Interesting. I didn't know about this. That's cool. Always like seeing old school VTuber stuff. Yo, speaking of old school stuff, dude, I saw such a cool throwback cover a couple days ago. Oh my god. Or what is it? I used to watch a lot of Kizuna Ai, then she died, so I died, and now I'm back. Well, thank you for undying. I appreciate you for that. Hopefully, maybe one day Kizuna Ai will come back too. I don't think she's active anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What was I gonna say? I saw such a like epic throwback cover earlier today, or not earlier today, like a day or two ago. It is Chisana Koi no Uta, or like little love song, I guess. I don't know. Is that how you would I think that's probably like the way that you could translate it. I don't know if that's the official English name for that song. But it was Chisana Koi no Uta, but it was the Amatsuki arrangement from like ages and ages ago. Amatsuki is like big older school utaite, or like, yeah, like big older school utaite from Nico Duga, I think, more so. Or why did I say Duga again? Why do I say that? What is this muscle memory? I know the word is Doga. Why do I say that? I must have started saying that like 10 years ago before I knew any Japanese. And now I just accidentally say that every time. That is going to trigger me until I stop doing it. Yeah, there's this really nice, like, sort of, like, more rock arrangement of Chisana Koi no Uta from back then. And Justin made an English cover of that song, and he, like, recreated the Amatsuki arrange. Justin is so cool, by the way. I swear to God, like, every time I look at that guy's covers, he has done the arrangement for it himself. Even on songs where the instrumental is publicly available. Like, I think his biggest cover is Fake Face Dance Music. He did his own arrange for that so he could write in his own verse, which fire, by the way. Or, like, Senna and Justin both, I feel like they kind of made their break when they did the self-cover of I by Marin and Kobo, which Senna wrote originally. And Justin did, like, a rearrange for that was so poppin' that, like, everybody who wrote it, or like who sung it initially, or like other HoloLive people really wanted to. I think there's like a big group cover that happened with HoloLive. I know that Marin and Kobo both like talked really well about it. I don't know if they ever did like that version of the song, but it's so good, bro. Like, it's so clean. His arrangements are so goated. And so seeing such a nostalgic choice for a cover in like Chisana Koi no Uta in like that arrangement too, it made me so happy. Even just like the fact that he does like anime music videos instead of like regular VTuber music videos, it gives it such an old YouTube feel to me. Like, it just takes me back to a period of the internet that I really like. I honestly really loved it. And it sounds so good, dude. Look, I feel like I have lulls of forgetting about this because I don't have that many male VTuber friends. I don't have that many male VTuber friends that sing, like even less than just how many I have. And within that subcategory, I low-key feel like majority of them actually have really high-pitched voices, which I also love dudes that have like very high-pitched voices. I think it sounds super dope for singing. But a good low voice is so... I wish I had that sometimes. I think ultimately I really like what I do with my voice. And I like that I can do a lot of like big belty stuff that goes pretty high. That's like super up my alley. And of course, that's why I tried to learn to sing like that. But every once in a while, I'll just hear somebody who has like a really smooth, like very rich quality to their voice. And I'm like, ooh, damn, I need me some of that. But you know, actually, I'm also kind of thinking back now to my first voice lesson that I did. I think I heard one of the funniest, like, singing compliments I've ever heard before from my voice teacher. The first time I, like, sung a proper song for him, I was singing, I think it was Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo was the song that I was kind of focused on in that lesson. I remember after I sung it, you know, he was giving me some technical analysis, and then he, like, stopped for a bit. Like, he was trying to pick the right word to describe what he wanted to say. And he was like, look, this is, like, not the most technical way to say it, but your voice has, like, a lot of meat on it. I really like that. I was like, that's such a funny, like, way. But I knew exactly what he meant when he said it. But I thought it was very interesting. I've never heard somebody, like, describe a voice like that. But I also, like, understood what he meant instantly. And I did feel like it was a really nice compliment. I guess what like technically would I be like doing that would make my voice like kind of meaty, I suppose. I guess maybe it's the fact that I do a lot of compression on my voice. Like basically, I don't remember what the muscle's like scientific name is, but there's like a thickener muscle in your voice, like in your throat. So that's kind of like, you know, you can, you know, talk quietly, obviously, but I think more so different than that is like if I'm doing my regular speaking voice, I could talk like this, or I could talk like this, or I could talk like this, and like some of that is volume, but some of it is like there's an actual level of like compression to my voice that is going on in my throat, and it's like using that like thickening on it. And I think that my like habit, or like the way that I learned to sing, has me do a lot of that. I'm actually kind of unlearning a little bit. No, I think that stylistically I like that I do that, but I'm trying to be a bit more controlled about how I do it, a bit more intentful. But it's very interesting. I don't know, there's so much stuff that I never thought about that is fun to sort of learn about after the fact. I love singing, man. Music's so cool. I kind of wish that I scheduled a karaoke for Sunday, but also I'm really excited for Refined Self. We're gonna do a karaoke next weekend. I think next Saturday I'll probably do a karaoke. Because we gotta do some singing. I don't know, he was saying earlier it'd be like really funny if I keep playing the birthday card like further and further along. What if I use this as my new stream meta? Next weekend I'm like, birthday karaoke party. Do my 3rd birthday stream. I just keep this meta up until it's late April, and then I start doing the anniversary streams. And then after that, I don't know, it'll have to be my anniversary for like 11 months. There's a lot. That's a little bit long to stall, I can't lie. I don't know if I could pull that one off. But surely it would be funny. That's a crazy meaty voice milks the birthday meta is a very gross sounding sentence. I can't. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I don't like the use of the word milk there, I think. It's not wrong, it only feels wrong. Oh my god, okay, speaking of like random words feeling bad, I need communal opinion on this. I need to ask people for their opinion, alright? So in the group chat the other day, on my birthday actually, you guys have to side with me because it's my birthday, right? On my birthday, I woke up and I did the Wordle, and I got it in 2, which was pretty epic. And the word was shoal, S-H-O-A-L, shoal. Like, you know, like when you get like a little strip of sand in the middle of like an ocean or a river, and there's like water on both sides, and there's just like that little like shore in between them. That's a shoal, right? And for some reason, half of the group chat was like insistent that shoal just looked like an ugly word. Like that chain of letters just doesn't look right next to each other. It's like really bad. And they are bugging, bro. Like shoal is actively a nice word. I like the word shoal. I think it looks very like, it has like a very like shimmery like vibe to it. Yeah, like I think of dolphin shoals. I think of like Shoal Cave from Pokemon. I don't know, like there's so many positive connotations in my brain with the word shoal. Aside from the fact that just actual shoals in real life are very pretty. Oh, I'm bad. Okay, it's fine. So I personally think that they were wholeheartedly bugging, but you know, I'm open to hearing criticism. But I don't know. I feel like just look at the chat message there, right? Dolphin shoals. Look at the word shoal. Like, I don't understand what about looking at that word would be triggering as like a... It's like not an unsatisfying combination of letters. It just looks fine. It just looks so normal to me. Like, I don't know. Inherently, it is a little bit of like an unusual word. Like, the reason I actually got that Wordle into... I don't have like a strat for Wordle where I pick the same word to start every day. I just kind of do it on vibes. And so I started on my birthday with the word trend, T-R-E-N-D, trend. And I got 0 letters correct. And so my gut was like, okay, well, this word probably has an S. And they don't tend to choose plural words for Wordle. Usually if there's an S, it'll be like at the start or in the middle or something. So I was like, okay, let's do starts with S, because there's a lot of words that start with S too. One of the most common letters for that. It can't be an E, so I'm looking at like A or O or U, I. All of them are considerations. I was looking like what's a letter that I can end with for an S word, right? There's CK, but it can't be snack. It can't be stack. It could have been shack, I guess. I could have guessed shack, but I don't know. Not like the most common letters. I was looking at L, and L is kind of like one of the only letters left that worked, and I was like, SH seems reasonable, shoal, that gets 2 vowels, just throw it in, it works. And I was like, oh, that's cool, I like the word shoal. That's epic. I didn't think it would actually work, I just picked it because I thought, it's a good word that filled my criteria in that moment. And then just seeing like the biggest crash out over the word shoal, I was like, what is going on with my friends, bro? Too silly. It's like Iceland hiding its beauty. I agree. Very nice word. I like shoal. Wordle and Discord revived it? Oh, 100%. I've been playing Wordle like on the little activity thing in the group chat, and it's really funny to see whenever other people will join. There was actually one day where it was really funny. Like, I did it at like a really random time, and Nahi joined me and started the Wordle and then just forgot it for the entire day. Like, just did 2 guesses and then never picked it back up, which I thought was really funny. Cause I don't know, I feel like I get so absorbed when I do like little word games like that or connections, crosswords, stuff like that. Like, I'm in it when I'm in it, so. Dude, I used to be about that. I used to be doing connections every day with my dad. I did crosswords every day with my dad. We were word gaming for like a couple months. Haven't really been on the word game grind nearly as much in recent times, but I do love word games though. I'm gonna try to trap that. I failed though. Oh! I think I got the like other Yoshi. I think he did end up hitting my banana and failing the shortcut. I think I am in a really bad spot though because I didn't get an item there. Oh, they have a super horn. That's scary. Oh, bullet. Yo. So many bullets. Okay, give me 2 items. Boomerang's not that good. Okay, that's a good snipe though. I'll back it. Oh! Oh my god, dude, the bomb. We got second. There we go. Did the Sunday crossword while waiting in line for DK Ride? What is DK Ride? I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Bro, I was like, Donkey Kong Ride? What? I'm too Nintendo brained right now. I might even know what DK is supposed to mean. I'm just slow. Oh, wait. Oh, it is. You went to like... I forgot that they have an amusement park for that. Where is that amusement park? Is it in like Florida? Or is it like a Japan thing? Or is it somewhere else entirely? Oh, right. You went to a wedding. I remember you mentioned... Oh, and that's why they had the Nintendo music at the wedding. That makes so much more sense. I was like, wow, your friend getting married is very cool for doing... for doing Nintendo music at their wedding. That feels like such a personal choice that is very like not normal. But hearing that they did it, having gone to like Super Mario World like amusement park as a venue, that is such a fun wedding idea, dude. Shout out to that. That's fire. That's super cool. It's in Osaka and in Orlando. Okay, yeah. That's about what I thought. I wasn't sure about where in Japan the Japan location was, but I was pretty sure that they had an Orlando one. Man, there must be such a culture around like going to amusement parks in Orlando. You got like all the best ones in the world just in Orlando. They really make it such a hot spot for that. Like, I'm trying to think what amusement parks I've even really been to. I've been to Canada's Wonderland, which is a big one here. And outside of that, I don't know. There was a really cool water park at one of the fancy hotels by Niagara Falls that I went to when I was a kid. If you can count a water park. I don't think you can, but I will. Because I have a lack of other experiences to pull from. Oh, rude! Didn't go as the venue, just the day after? That's fair. I didn't really think you would do it like as the venue, but still, like planning the trip around that is really fun. Oh, man, I thought you could do that. I swear there is some sort of mushroom-related cut that you can do on this track. I just don't remember where it is. Oh, right after the items, and I fall. That is devastating, not gonna lie. I wonder what I would do if I ever had a wedding. Honestly, I low-key think that I would have like a really low-key wedding. I don't think I would want to do anything that crazy. Like, I would probably just pick a venue, invite some people that I'm close to only. I would probably prepare a decent amount of the food. Or, like, the desserts I'd probably make myself, except for, like, I don't know. But, like, wedding cake is so expensive. Like, do you really need, like, a wedding cake? I think even as much as I hate trying to, like, actually make fancy stuff with baking, because I'm bad at it, I would probably spend less money investing in the equipment I would need to make it a lot more feasible to do something fancy like a wedding cake than just, like, paying for a wedding cake. I feel like I low-key would be the type of person to be like, fine, I'll do it myself. I mean, who knows, right? It's easy for me to have such a mentality because I'm broke. Maybe one day I would have the wedding cake money. I'd be balling like that. Surely. But also, I don't know. Even if I had the money, I could see a universe where I would still want to, like, make that myself. Because that's, like, very personal, right? I think that one of the things I've learned more and more as I, like, learn different kinds of artistic skill sets is that knowing enough to know what to ask for goes a really long way, but even that will still never be quite as good if you have the time and drive to just do it yourself. Like, if you're good at something and you are, like, really committed to just, like, taking your time to do it exactly the way you're thinking, it is, like, without fail, the best result you can ever get for stuff like that. And I could see that being a moment where I would want to be creatively expressive with baking. I don't tend to find myself being too worried about, like, the aesthetics of baking. A lot of the time, I just try to make stuff that's tasty. If it looks good, that's a bonus. But I do like baking a lot still, you know? I I remember some of my family members were telling me, like, they were asking me if I was going to become a baker. They were like, you should become a baker. And I was like, I don't know if I like it that much. But thank you, though. Especially because I don't know, I feel like being a baker, right? It's pretty hard to be a baker and focus on the kind of stuff that I bake, because the kind of stuff that I bake is like really comfort food, you know? I like making cookies, I like making brownies, I like banana bread, I like stuff like that, you know what I mean? Really easy, not trying to be too fancy. It's just like a very iconic dessert. That was some crazy lag. Damn. What was I saying? Yeah, I like to do that kind of stuff. And whenever I've tried to do like fancier baking, I feel like it always comes out ugly but tastes good, and so I don't really like to share it with people, but I do enjoy like eating it myself once I get over the like depression of being like, I'm so bad at making pretty desserts. Woo. I always feel bad about that, and then I eat it and I'm like, okay, I don't care. Cake is cake, cookie is cookie, whatever is whatever, you know? That's the best part about baking, is like you always win. Maybe not visually, maybe not artistically, but your mouth always wins. You always get to enjoy eating it no matter what, and that's goated. But yeah, I don't know when my next sort of baking antics will come up. Maybe Oshi uplink. Probably Oshi uplink. I gotta bring snacks for the homies when we go to the convention, but I don't know if I'll do anything until then. Okay. Look, I probably would not be successful, right? Probably will fail. But imagine how much aura it would give me if I rolled up to the convention and I had like a really nice looking macarons or something. Oh, I would be like so fancy. Everybody would think I'm so cool. Including me, I would think I'm so cool. Because, I mean, okay, low-key, I do kind of want to give macarons a try again, though. I think I didn't do the batter right, and that was part of why they didn't come out very pretty last time. But also, I just, like, I made the mistake of using a tip for my piping bag that wasn't actually, like, perfectly circular. And so it was like impossible to get consistently sized and shaped. Like, size is supposed to be the bottleneck. Shape should never be your bottleneck for like pairing the macaron shells. But unfortunately for me, I was a little bit silly. So I was like, which oblong can I put with whatever else here? Huge variance in both size and, you know, how round they were. It was very scuffed, but they tasted good, right? I was saying earlier, like, macarons don't really actually taste like much outside of the filling. And so I just made my ganache that I'm already, like, really comfortable with that recipe. And it's just good, right? I don't have to worry about it. Ooh, this is a really good position to be in. I got a super horn in the reserve. Yeah, I've like, I don't know, I have my ganache recipe down from when I used it for brownies, which I think I've only made ganache for brownies once or twice. And I was really surprised because the other day I was talking to like one of my IRL friends about how my cake came out like kind of ugly but still tasty. And he was like, dude, sometimes I think back to when you made the brownies with the ganache, best brownies I ever ate. And I was like, because by the way, this is like years ago. I haven't made that for him in like several years. And I was like, oh, really? Especially because he really likes chocolate. Like he's a big chocolate enjoyer. So I was surprised. I was so flattered. Like I still have very fond memories of this one birthday party that happened when we were like 10 or something, I think. His mom made him a cake that she called like a chocoholic cake. It was chocolate cake with chocolate icing, with Kit Kats, M&M's, and I think there was another chocolate bar. I don't remember what. I think there was one more chocolate. Maybe Oreos. Maybe it was Oreos that were on it. Anyway, it was an obscene amount of chocolate. It was just chocolate on chocolate on chocolate as a cake, which honestly was really fire. It was pretty good. I'm not like as strongly for or against chocolate. I really like chocolate, but not like obsessively. In a lot of ways, I think I really like mint chocolate, and I have a much stronger aptitude, or not aptitude, but like inclination towards that than just like regular chocolate. And so like when I make brownies, I don't make brownies entirely because I'm just craving chocolate. Like I always either put mint chocolate in the batter, or I'll make like the mint chocolate ganache, pour that over the top, have it cool in the freezer so it's set, or not in the freezer, in the fridge so it sets, and then it's got like a solid like mint chocolate layer. And that's the really good thing about mint chocolate dessert too, is if you put it in the fridge, the mint flavor like really comes out if you want that. It makes it a lot more like pronounced. And it's really good. I love it, and it's so yum. Maybe I make those brownies for Oshi Uplink. That is kind of my ult. But I'll probably end up making like chocolate chip cookies, because that's like extremely shareable. It's like just so shareable. And also like, who doesn't like a chocolate chip cookie, right? Like, that's the ultimate networking tool. Like, hi, I'm Twi. You want a cookie? Here you go. Have my business card. Bye. This is how I'm gonna win over more VTuber friends. Especially, this works even better because these people are more likely than usual to be local to me. Oh my god, wait, I'm a genius. I just network by giving them free dessert. And I buy my way into their friendship with that. Hey, I mean, if it works, right? It's not as like transactional as I'm making it to sound anyway, because truthfully, one of my favorite parts of baking is making something that I think is really tasty and getting to share that experience with other people. I really like doing that. And I think with baking, it's a lot more approachable for me. At least like traditionally, because of my eating disorder, right? Like when I was younger, especially, you know, I would basically never eat regular food around other people because I was so sensitive to so much normal stuff that a lot of the time I didn't feel comfortable like ordering anything at a restaurant, or like there's nothing I'd want at like a house party or something. So I'd just be like, oh, I ate before, and that's a lie. A lot of the time I wouldn't have eaten significantly before, and then I would just like tide myself on like chips or desserts or something. So on the one hand, bringing dessert meant that I had something to like snack on with me that I knew I liked because I made it. But also, I could actually like socially bond over eating dessert with other people. Whereas like regular food, I felt like I was too not normal. It made it a lot harder. So I guess maybe that's part of why I still have a really like strong connection with making dessert for people. But yeah, I don't know. I really like doing dessert. I'll have to make sure that I use my hairnet. I'll have to use a hairnet for that. Sometimes when I'm just baking for myself and my dad, I don't bother with the hairnet because like it's not that likely that hair falls in anyway. And if it did, it's like, whatever, right? But I would be mortified if I gave some absolute stranger like a baked good and then there's hair in it. Oh my, I would feel so bad. I would actually just die instantly. But I gotta decide on some good eats to prep when I go to the convention. I haven't been excited for a convention in so long, dude. Like properly excited to go for a weekend. It's gonna be epic. It's so fun being like so socially interested in like different stuff for VTubing. I feel like conventionally, I've been VTubing for like 2 years now, and even before I was a VTuber, I was still a streamer, you know, under like a different alias, right? And I think that for most of my life as a content creator, I've been very in my own lane. You know, I have like a couple people that I really vibe with, but I don't tend to like do a lot with them. And I just tend to keep to myself a lot, you know what I mean? And it's not even necessarily because I like being alone all the time. It's more so just that I don't always have the easiest time finding people. And even when I do, you know, sometimes it can be... It's one thing to find somebody that you vibe with. It's another thing to find somebody that you vibe with, like, so much that it's not just, like, a shared hobby. It's like you just genuinely enjoy the hobby of each other's company, I suppose. Like, I don't know. It feels really nice to have a lot more people to the point where I feel like I have a group. I have multiple groups in some ways, it feels like, which is very normal, but it's been a while, right? I'm very grateful. And any opportunity like a convention or something like that to enjoy something with other people. That's gonna be so fun, dude. It's been so long since I've gone to a convention with another person. Oh my god, dude, it's been forever. Like, thinking back, when have I gone to cons with other people? Oh, I'm so pancake. I went... Well, like, so two of my OG, like, friends that I met from a convention, I don't really talk to them anymore, but at the time, I went to, like, an idol competition at one of the conventions I was attending, and I ended up being the first person to show up, and there was two other people that were like really early with me, and they had the exact same first name, which was really funny. And so they bonded immediately, and I just kind of like got to freeload off of that by being in their proximity. And so I went to cons with them a couple years. My cousin came out for like a single day one time. I went to a convention. I guess I've been with like some of my IRLs, but like, I don't know. There's something different about going to a con with like the VTuber homies. Like, that's like more like in for like my own crowd, I guess. 11. It do be like that sometimes. It's gonna be epic. I'm so excited. It better be epic. It's been a while since I've paid to go out to something like this. The last time I paid to hang out with someone, we went to a bar and used their pool table for free for like 2 hours, and we bought tea for like $4 each or something like that. Literally, my friend was like, you wanna play pool? And I was like, that is a crazy suggestion. I didn't even know he played pool. He doesn't have a pool table. But I was super down. I've never played pool before that. It was really fun. I actually had a really good time. But we called up some random bar in the area, and they were like, yeah, you don't have to pay to use the table. You just gotta like buy a drink or something. And I was like, okay, sure. And we rolled up. Nobody else was using it, so we got to use it for like hours on end, and we didn't even buy alcohol. We were gonna buy alcohol, but like nothing looked good, like low-key. There was nothing good that was cheap. So we were like, I was just like, I'm gonna get whatever my friend gets, and he ordered tea, and I was like, I'll get tea as well. And they were like, do you want milk or sugar with that? I think my friend asked for sugar, and I was like, give me milk and sugar because I'm baby. I didn't add the because I'm baby part, but you know, I put a lot of sugar and a lot of milk because I'm baby. But you know what? The fact that I can appreciate tea in any format now at all is progress, because I used to really not like tea in like every form. I just still don't like bitter drinks or hot drinks very much, but I can tolerate it a lot more than I used to. And even enjoy sometimes. But yeah, no, it's really fun to go to a third space like that. It's so easy to forget because I feel like there's so many barriers to using third spaces nowadays. It's really rare that you find a third space that's easy to go to, especially that's like not too like committal, you know what I mean? Like something you're doing all the time. Cause like, I don't know, I've tried to get into like clubs for my hobbies, but my hobbies tend to be pretty niche. And so if I find anything, it's almost never close by. And it just makes it such a pain to have third spaces. It's not to say that the bar is like a regular third space for me. I barely ever go to bars. But it is fun the couple times that I have been to a bar, I can't lie. Every once in a while with friends or family. Well, when I say family, I mean my cousin. But every once in a while, it's a good time. You gonna wrap cute wax paper around your cookies, or are you doing Tupperware? I'm probably doing Tupperware. But I have a really big Tupperware now. I got a really big like plastic one that can hold like a ton of cookies in it. It's so epic. I could probably fit like 40 cookies in that one Tupperware, I think. Something in that ballpark. It's really big, so it's great for making like a ton. Because that's the thing, right? If I'm doing this to like bring for other people, I want to make a bunch while I'm networking with people so that I can just give like an obscene amount of cookies out at the event. It's like a shotgun method, you know? Some of the people will just be going for a cookie because they just want a free cookie. But I might score some people that are actually like genuinely chill with me as a result of me giving them a cookie. And the more people I can give cookies, the more, or, you know, if somebody is like, you know, a little bit needier, maybe they want to ask for like 2 or 3 cookies. If I got like 40, I could, like if we're vibing and they want to ask me for a handful, is like, sure. Whatever makes you happy. And that way we probably have leftovers. So, you know, if you're like wandering around the convention and you need a snack, you can just turn to me and be like, I got you, cookie. And you can do that instead of being like, okay, let me see. I can go to this alley 30 minutes, not 30, but like 10 minutes away from us, and then pay like 2 or 3x the normal price. Yeah, it's always so expensive, right? This is why I need to be the snack friend. You know, I might even end up prepping some stuff that's a little bit more filling. Like, I remember the last time I went to an event, I made some carrot muffins that were like protein beefed out. not literally like beef, but like they were protein muffins, carrot muffins. There's protein powder in it. It's made with oat flour, which also is high protein. They're very, very like tough for a muffin, you know? If you're expecting like the regular muffin experience, it can feel a little bit like milling cement in your mouth. But it's like also extremely filling, right? You know, you don't expect a muffin to like low-key be a meal replacement type thing, but it can. Brought 2 pocket granola bars to the amusement park. Always a good idea. Amusement parks are really bad. Airports are really bad. You gotta load up ahead of time. Because otherwise, they know once you're... Especially amusement parks. Amusement parks and airports... Well, I mean, it's the same idea, right? You can't leave. So, they know they can gouge you for, like, a drink or something. Or, like, a snack. Prices weren't horrible at the airport, like an airport, but the principle of it, yeah. When you go to Oshi Uplink, can you say hi to the Irium booth for me? Maybe even grab a flyer? Probably, yeah. I don't know that I'd be able to give it to you at any point because, I mean, I don't have the money to be going to, like, Off-Kai, for example. You know, this is really big for me because it really is, like, we got Off-Kai at home, but, like, for real. Like, not even just as in, like, some like scuffed little VTuber meetup. We actually have like an at-home Off-Kai here now, which is so cool. Because I can't afford to go to Off-Kai, but I got some friends that'll be here, which is great. But if you just want to see like a picture or something, yeah, for sure I could grab that. Probably. As long as I can find it. I mean, I'm sure I'll be checking out a lot of the stuff anyway. I'm going for the weekend, so. I'll have a look. I don't really know a lot of Irium people, though. I can't lie. I know... Like, I've seen them on my timeline sometimes, but I don't really, like, use Irium. Irium is like, it's like a mobile app, like a vertical streaming platform now, right? It's a mobile app, I see. We got like Instagram Live or TikTok Live, but for VTubers specifically. To be fair, that is a cool service to exist because I feel like as a VTuber, if you try to stream into those mediums, like I've even heard some horror stories from YouTube Shorts, you know. I feel like the average consumer, there is a market for it, but the problem is that it doesn't get pushed to the right market on the mainstream platforms. Audience a bit meh. I mean, I think that vertical content tends to be that way, but yeah. Solid couple of Utaite that prefer to yap Zatsu instead of game. That's honestly really valid. That's fair. Twice go. Well, I guess I am up points today. This is true. I don't know. I'm such a perpetual gamer. It's like it's very like second nature to me, I suppose. You know, like, I was talking the other day with Nahi about the fact that I think my top 5 games might entirely be like all higher than her number 1 or something. Like, maybe not quite that extreme, but like I have an obscene amount of hours on my Steam account, and there's so many games that doesn't even count. Like, that doesn't have any of my Tetris hours, any of my Pokemon hours, any of my Mario Kart hours. I played a decent amount of Smash. My Osu hours, oh, that's a big chunk too. And like the other rhythm games I played. There's so much. Like, let me think. Some of my Steam hours are fake, I will say that. I think I have some idled hours on like Steam games, like in a significant number, like in the thousands. I don't know why, I used to forget to turn off my games a lot when I was younger. The undiagnosed ADHD, it always comes back around into later in life realizations, I suppose. But if I were to estimate my playtime across like all video games ever, I think that I definitely have more than 20,000 total hours on like every video game in my life combined. Which is kind of debatably not a good thing, maybe, but only need 10,000 for mastery. You know, I think the funny thing about that saying is that the game I was most masterful at was Pokemon, and I think my hours in Pokemon were probably somewhere maybe in the ballpark of like 1,500 to 2,000, which is not even a top 3 game for me, I don't think, in terms of like raw hours clocked in. But that is the only game I've ever been number 1 in the world at. I suppose mastery isn't inherently to be like the best in the world at a point in time or like a given niche, but it is certainly the most masterful I've been at anything relatively, I guess. And I think that like when I reached that was probably closer to like 1,000 hours. In a lot of ways, it really depends how you're spending those hours. Like, that matters so much more than just the time in, time out, right? Like, I remember when I was young, I used to be really into Rocket League. That was like my friend group's big game, was we were all hella grinding Rocket League. And I was so upset because I would play just as much as them, but I would improve so much slower. And the reason for that I didn't really clock at the time is because they were like practicing smartly. You know, they would go into free play and like practice hitting the ball around at weird angles, go for difficult shots. You know, like you're doing like training exercises to like round yourself out better, right? I would just queue ranked. Like, I would just spam ranked. And truthfully, a like 1,000 or 2,000 hour mix of intentful practice implemented into like tournaments or ranked games, and then going back and like reiterating that cyclical process, way more potent than like thousands and thousands of hours of just like only learning through the lens of playing ranked, because you just can't like practice specific stuff that way. And it's a lot easier to externalize things that go wrong as well, whereas when you're practicing, it's a very internally focused experience. It kind of encourages you to have more of a growth mindset, more like criticalness of your own like technique. It just promotes more critical thinking, which is what you need. But yeah, honestly, I think 10,000 hours mastery is like a cool thing to talk about, but I do truthfully think that everybody can master almost anything. It's really just about like, I don't know. I think talent versus mastery. The most talented people have a higher ceiling, you know? You could train like Usain Bolt. You could maybe even train better than Usain Bolt. You're probably still genetically going to lose to Usain Bolt forever. But you could also still become like a very, very, very high level runner before that would affect you at all. And not everything is like sports where there is like a mechanical bottleneck on you, like genetically or something like that, you know? Most people, if they have like a talent towards stuff that people will say that about like artsy stuff, or you know, like anything that's very hands-on, whatever kind of stuff like that, I think it's just you have a set of experiences earlier in life that shapes the way you learn positively for honing that skill. But ultimately, any person who puts a conscious effort into practicing a skill with like long-term growth in mind can get like very, very masterful. It's easier said than done. Like, it takes a crazy amount of dedication, and sometimes the right resources and opportunities may or may not be available to you. But you can master stuff a lot faster than you think you can with the right environment and the right mindset. Fifth, I'll take that. Man, sometimes I miss being like a pro at something, low-key. It's so grindy. Like, I don't truthfully miss it, but there's always a part of me where it was like very cool to be like exceptionally good at something. But in the same vein, I think that I have so much more fun not being externally competitive with gaming nowadays compared to before. Like, I was talking with one of my friends about this the other day, about how when I was younger, I used to be really competitive about games, and nowadays, I actually really hate being competitive about games, unless it's, like, inwardly competitive. So, like, I like playing Osu, but not because I care about climbing the leaderboards and beating other people, more so because I care about, like, getting cool scores for, like, against myself and, like, what I was doing before. Or I like playing Tetris, and I like... It's not to say I can't enjoy playing Osu or Tetris against other people, but I don't care if I win, right? It doesn't really matter to me. But, like, I enjoy getting a better 40-line time in Tetris, or getting, like, a new top play, or, like, something that's different and difficult on Osu, or playing, like, Pokemon ROM hacks that are really hard and getting a good score. I don't care about doing that, like a good run. I don't care about doing that for, like, leaderboards of some sort. I just do it because it's, like, a fun inward challenge, right? But when I play competitive games where you're against other people, and especially competitive games where you have teammates, I think I just tend to dislike how much of it feels like outside of my own control. I feel like I have an obligation to my teammate. Oh my, I'm stuck on the dinner table. I feel like I have an obligation to my teammates to do well. I have an obligation to my opponents to give them a good game. And when I don't do that, when I don't play well, I get very frustrated with myself. And it makes me feel like incompetent or like incapable. Whereas when it's just me, like if I'm having a bad day on something, I might still like have those feelings sometimes, but I can put it down and let go of it very quickly because it's also like just entirely inward, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sure I'll have stints where I get back into more competitively gaming at times, but the more I've gotten older, the more I've appreciated making my gaming just be chill. Or if it's not chill, like at the end of the day, I actually think, for the most part, inward competition is chill. As long as you're not like really stressing and like putting a lot of ego value on doing a specific achievement, then a lot of the time you're kind of just chilling and your brain will like sort of focus in if you suddenly are like doing something good. But otherwise you're just kind of like idle-mindedly enjoying whatever thing you're playing, which is really chill. It's really nice. Self-reflection hour. It's always, whenever I have like a very chatting stream, especially if I'm gaming, it's very, very often that I end up in some sort of self-reflection ramble. This is why I was saying I'm surprised that I never got the philosopher role on Refined Self. The thinker has logged on. Surely when I replay it on Sunday, I'm gonna score the philosopher one of these times. I mean, I'll probably end up getting clergy again since I got it twice already. I still can't believe I scored 99 out of 100 in morals. Like, that is so funny. I hope it doesn't tank too hard with my last playthrough. Surely I'll be able to keep up 99 moral score. How many times have you played it? Twice. Well, I played it 3 times, but the first time I played it, I lost my save. So my save file has 2 completions, and I want to do the third one so I get the, like, opposite personality type to fill out the card or whatever. Why is that game making a comeback? I don't know. I think Nahi played it. Well, I streamed it before Nahi, but it was a while ago. So I think it was just a coincidence that Nahi picked it up recently. I don't think it was inspired by me. I don't know. I just really like Refined Self. I've done that like a lot of times. I think I streamed it around my debut, and then I streamed it again around my 1-year anniversary as like a see where we've like how far we've come. And then I think I streamed it the 3rd time around like when I did the Twi Telescopium debut in November last year, because I wanted to do like a personality stream, and I really liked that game, so I thought it'd be a good excuse to play it again. And then this time, I guess we're not actually, well, technically we've passed my 2-year anniversary. I'm not celebrating it yet. I'm celebrating my anniversary for like, the anniversary of Superstar Twiddle this year, because I don't like having my birthday and my anniversary 3 days apart. It's too much to plan. I don't have enough foresight, and it's more fun to celebrate in like a spaced out manner. Oh, I got a mushroom lock in. I can never do it on this one, man. I don't know the timing window. I know you can do it in Mario Kart 8. I'm just bad. But yeah, I mean, I guess my 3rd time playing it for my 2-year anniversary will be this weekend. Not what I thought of when I planned it on the schedule, but it is true. I think it's one of the most brilliant games I've ever played, though. Like, Refined Self is a really, really wonderful indie title. Ooh. Big snipe. I want to take, like, the big cut with the grass here. I'm just kind of hoping that I'm not going to get shocked before or especially during. Let's go. Purple mushrooms. Oh, that was close. I'll take 4th. That's not bad. But yeah, I also think that it'll be a fun or like a nice way to unwind after what will be a very long and fun stream tomorrow. I'm so excited for the birthday collab stream. But like also, oh my god. So that's gonna be a lot of socializing. I think I'm gonna have a really fun time and then I'm gonna like crash as soon as it's over. But I love doing that, honestly. I love days like that. It's so fun. Like, retrospectively, I always feel really good after I have a day with, like, a bunch of people. I'm so grateful that I'm, like, far enough along with VTubing now that I actually have so many friends that I can invite a bunch of people to come and play games with me for my birthday. Like, that's so cool. Especially because, like, even some of them are busy and, like, aren't going to be able to be there, which is super unfortunate. I just like happened to choose a weekend where Rita and Luz were like both not gonna be like at home, and I was like, oh, that's the OG group. Oh well, other than Shiny. Shiny will be there. That's my boy. But I gotta do something with Rita and Luz sometime. Well, I mean, Rita actually, her anniversary is coming up soon. I'll see. I'm a part of something for her anniversary. I don't know if it's public, but I don't know if I'm doing call-ins yet. I have to see. I wanted to leave it open for people that are, like, busier than me. Because I could probably make plans with Rita whenever, but if there's open spots, I'll probably sign myself up. But yeah, I'm really excited. Especially because I feel like there's some community games that, like, I really like playing with, like, stream community, but I also would really like to play with, like, people in a group call that I haven't gotten the opportunity to do. Like, Peak is one of them. I haven't done, like, a collab stream for Peak anyway. I've played Peak with other people, but never on stream. Gardic Phone collab I've wanted to do forever, but never had the opportunity. Now it's time. Golf with your friends I've never done with other people on stream. Splatoon I've done with other people on stream. But I've only even done like Salmon Run on stream like once before, so that's gonna be fun. It's actually like such cool timing that Salmon Run is happening on the same weekend that I'm doing my birthday stream. Ooh, that was nice. Little cut. Yeah, we got the Yoshi's Island one. I don't think I ever got to play Yoshi's Island growing up. Was Yoshi's Island on the SNES originally? Because I grew up with an SNES actually, but I mean it was my babysitter, so I just kind of played whatever they had on it. SNES and GBA, yeah. I never had a Game Boy. And the SNES... I'm trying to think back what games they had on the SNES. We had Super Mario World for sure. I knew that was going to happen. That was so rude. To your fellow Rosalina. We had Super Mario World. We had Super Mario Kart. There was... What else was there? There was this like unicycle racing game. I brought it up on stream before. I think it was like Uniracers or something. No, that's not right. I don't remember what it was though. Let me see. Damn, tough race. It'd be like that. Haven't been enjoying Radical Red. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. It's really hard, yeah. I have to remake my team each fight because I don't know how to build type coverage. That is actually not you being bad. That's the point. The sort of like way that these like difficulty hacks work. And there are Pokemon hacks out there that are a little bit harder than like base game, or they have more features, but they're still designed to be like casually playable. I'm not as familiar with like specific ones, but I know there are a lot of them out there. But for like a lot of the big like difficulty hacks, like Radical Red is one of those. The kind of whole point is that you like look up the documentation of the game. So like before you even go to the fight, you look at exactly what that trainer has. Usually you have a calculator and you like plan the whole fight before you even do it. And the whole point is like every fight is like its own puzzle to solve, but it's not quite like a regular puzzle game. It's like somewhere in between a regular puzzle game and a roguelike, because the way that you solve the puzzle will depend on what encounters you've gotten on the run. And that's kind of like the cool part about it. It's like a roguelike puzzle game, which is really interesting, like very rare genre combination. It's definitely not for everyone. You gotta be like pretty into Pokemon to properly enjoy playing the difficulty hacks. And it can be quite a time sink. It can be a pretty mentally intensive hobby, but it can be very rewarding. I've been playing Run and Bun again recently, which I believe was the hardest Pokemon hack for many years. Some people are now saying this really new one called Pokemon Null is harder. I don't know, truthfully. I mean, nobody's even finished the game yet, I don't think. But people are decently far through it. But Pokemon Run and Bun is still, like, I would say the most widespread, prestigious, like, Nuzlocke to try and beat. And I've been having some fun doing some runs again. I've got a run right now that's past the first 4 gyms, which might sound like I'm really deep. I actually am probably only a quarter through the game, but it's been really fun regardless, getting like a pretty decent run online again. Since I think the best run I ever had was probably a little more than halfway through. But it kind of... And that run never died either. It just was like so cooked that I decided not to finish it out. Just didn't feel like it anymore. Last game is Sapphire before even the physical special split. Ooh yeah, so you got a lot of stuff to relearn. There's a lot of stuff to keep track of. I think, to be fair, especially for like when you have gaps in knowledge about stuff, you might enjoy it if you try playing it like with the calculators the way a lot of people do. Sort of on the idea that if you see something that doesn't like click in your like brain instantly, you'll kind of get to see it. Like you can look up a move if you don't know what it does ahead of time, or you can like you'll see the damage calcs and like how much damage you're dealing and taking, and so you don't have to like know your type chart completely off the top of your head, because you'll see like how much damage everything is supposed to be doing before you start the fight. It really helps strategizing stuff and not having to be as like just off the dome with everything. It's a very interesting way to play Pokemon. It's very cool. I'm getting owned again. Yeah, I think I probably just lost for getting comboed by this Piranha. That is tough. Surely I get a bullet here. Not quite, but... Eight? Okay. I mean, there are also some difficulty hacks that are, like, not using the physical special split if you didn't want that. But I think all of them suck. Because the only hard ones I know that don't use modern damage mechanics are Emerald Kaizo, Crystal Kaizo, and Blue Kaizo, and those are all really, really unfair and mean. And lame. Like, truthfully, oh, man. I am so grateful for ROM hacks like Run and Bun, like Radical Red, like Renegade Platinum, or like most of the Drayano ones are pretty good. Like, I think, what else does Drayano have? Blaze Black. There's a Heart Gold one that I can't remember. But he's got like a decent amount of them. Renegade Platinum's like his most famous one, I would say. And that one is also pretty beginner friendly. If Radical Red, like if you like the concept, but Radical Red specifically is not vibing, Renegade Platinum's pretty good too. But I am so grateful for how like thoughtful they are about making a variety of strategies like work and giving you a lot of different tools. That's still like just enough. Like it's still hard, but you know, Emerald Kaizo, I remember when I was grinding Emerald Kaizo, because before all these cool, like, nice quality of life ROM hacks came out. And genuinely, Emerald Kaizo is so encounter dependent. Like, you miss a Sunflora, your run probably died. You miss Volt Absorb Lantern, your run probably died. Yeah, you miss a lot of the time, like Mag Cargo or maybe Numal in the first town, like your run's dead. Like there's so many like box checks where you just either get the right encounter and you have a shot and it's still like kind of luck based, or you get the wrong encounter and you just lose. I'm so glad that it takes like so much more bad luck to really get screwed on like most of the newer ones. Oh, it's not clean. Golf yesterday was really fun. We played every single map, and the rule set that we were operating on was that it would time out in 30 or sometimes we'd do 40 seconds. So you have to complete the hole in 30 or 40 seconds or else it'll max you out. And we set the max out penalty to 100 strokes. So like, assuming you don't get an even amount of like failure to complete the holes in time, it purely boils down to who finishes more of them than like who gets like the smaller optimizations, which was very funny. I think I might make everybody do one round of that in the birthday collab stream tomorrow, because I think it'd be really funny. Probably on one of the easier maps, maybe like Forest or something. But it was, speed golfing was so fun. I had a great time. Red shell's not great. 112. Oh, I got no item. Damn, it's over. But yeah, it was really fun. I think we probably ended up playing like 6 hours of golf or something like that. Dude, no item twice! Oh, I lost. I actually should have just straight up like turned around and grabbed the box. There's no way that how did I pass 3 people with nothing? That's crazy. I mean, I'll take it, but wow, that's so silly. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, also, I just checked Discord, and I saw your message about the Good Kid clip. Yes, I saw the Good Kid clip where they gave some, like, random girl in the crowd a Rubik's Cube, and she got, like, her fastest solve ever, by a good amount, too, as, like, the transition into them playing a song. That was a really cool clip. That's one of the coolest concert clips I've seen before. Man, it would be really cool to see Good Kid in person one day. Like, they're from Toronto, so I'm sure that they perform in Toronto like a decent amount, surely. I don't know when I would be going, but maybe one day it could be cool. I've only ever been to the Otto concert. That's the only concert I've ever gone to, but if I were to go check out another band, I think that they'd be decently high up. 9 hours of maps? No. So I would say 3 or 4 hours of the 9 hours we were on there were just completely idling, like just chatting with each other. But in the time that we were playing, we played all the base game maps. Let me see, can I think of every map? There's Forest, Oasis, Candyland, Twilight, Pirate Cove, Ancient, Museum, Haunted. I'm forgetting one. I think the Deep is a base game. I don't know if that's true. That might be DLC. Then there's a bunch of DLC ones. There's a Worms one. There's a Escapists one. There's a Bouncy Castle level. There's another foresty one called Peaceful Pines. There's a cursed forest one. I think it's Corrupted Forest. It's like really evil. What else? There's an Olympus one. Nahi's really good at that one. I suck at that. I think that might be all of them. I think. But there's a lot. More than you would expect, truthfully. Oh, the hitbox on that is bigger than I would have thought, damn. I thought I could sneak past it. Oh well. Wait, what? In these games, you don't get a mushroom for hitting a Goomba with a shell? That's so sad. Why did they, like, unmake that feature? That feature was so epic. Oh, I'm in first. I'm gaming. Come on. Let me end on a dub. Let me end on a dub. What was that plot armor? The red shell just went straight past me. Oh my god. Oh! Let's go! That's probably a good stopping point. I knew I was like almost ready to end, but I will take my W. Thank you very much. Man, it's so hard to gain points on Mario Kart 8 now. Like, I literally played for 2 hours and I gained like 70 elo or something. I could gain double that in one race on Mario Kart Wii if I do well. That was fun though. That was good racing, good yaps. W race, W yaps, literal W. Thank you guys for hanging with me. I'm pretty hungry. I didn't eat dinner beforehand, so I gotta get some food. But I gotta announce tomorrow, big birthday collab stream. We got a huge amount of games. It's gonna be from 2 p.m. Eastern to probably like 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern. It's literally gonna be like a 6+ hour stream of just a bunch of community games. We're gonna be doing some Splatoon. We're gonna be doing some Peak. We're gonna be doing some golf with your friends, some Gartic phone, maybe some other stuff. We'll see. It's gonna be really fun. I got so many of my friends showing out for that. So I hope that you guys will enjoy. I'll be around most of the day. So unless you're like a really late night Twi viewer, there's a good chance you'll be able to catch me. But yeah, hopefully I will get to see some of you guys for the birthday celebration tomorrow. Gonna be super fun. Gonna be epic content. Sunday we're gonna be doing Refined Self at the usual times. So yeah, I can't speak. Tomorrow's birthday stream will be at 2 p.m. Eastern starting. It'll be 5 hours earlier than our regular start time. And it'll be like some shorter segments, and then at 7 p.m. Eastern, our normal start time, that's when the Gartic phone will start. So that's that. And then Sunday at our normal time, we'll be doing Refined Self again, which is always one of my favorite games to just talk about life and be very introspective and sort of absorb all the socializing that has happened on Saturday. So that'll be fun too. But thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. I really hope to see you tomorrow for birthday party. And I will see you tomorrow, Charlie. Yes, I hope to see you because I will. Bye-bye. Bye. Take care.